Interesting move over the weekend by the Dallas Cowboys. They signed Andy Dalton, raised some eyebrows, and signed Andy Dalton to a one-year contract for $3 million. Could get up to $7 million if he reaches certain incentives. And everybody's in a tizzy. Oh, is Dak done in Dallas? Oh, there's a threat to Dak. All of the writers that cover the team are saying no. We've been told by sources in the organization that this is nothing. They need a good backup. That's all this is. But yet, Joe Public thinks there's a quarterback controversy in Dallas. And I'm here to tell you, all you Cowboys fans out there, all you Dak fans out there, relax, rest easy. This is nothing. Yeah, Jerry thinks he's making some noise. Oh, it's a ploy. It's a bit of a threat. He thinks he might have Dak sweating a little bit. Oh, Andy Dalton. He's made the Pro Bowl before. I think 3 of them. He's been to the playoffs several times. We could win without Dak. Folks, relax. This is nothing different than what we saw at the beginning of last season. Tony Pollard. Wow, he's running the football very well. He looks great out of Memphis, the young rookie. We may not need Zeke. Heck, the beginning of our schedule's easy. Washington, Miami, bunch of chumps, the Giants. We can win without Zeke. And at the last moment, what does Jerry do? He caves and gives Ezekiel Elliott what he wants. And I'm telling you, the same thing is on the horizon with Dak Prescott. Jerry wants to win now. And while Andy Dalton is a decent quarterback, while Andy Dalton has had some degree of success, Andy Dalton is not winning you a Super Bowl. Andy Dalton at this stage of his career is not as good as Dak Prescott. Jerry spent all this money in the offseason. You think he spent it to turn it over to a backup quarterback, a guy that lost the starting job last year to a rookie named Ryan Finley? You really think that? No. If Dak doesn't cave, Jerry will. Mark a brother's words.
Sounds nice. Don't buy a bit of it, Chris Broussard. You know, all the way over in Jersey on exit 9, your panties are in a bunch. Is that the right exit or not?
No.
No.
Not bad, though. Off 280, it's like 11.
Okay, close.
Yeah,
I'm close. Come on.
Surprisingly close.
Yes, all right. I know it's an old joke. You live in Jersey, what exit? But my point is, here's the difference, Chris. And I'm not saying that Dak's not going to be the quarterback or whatnot, but where Jerry made his mistake last time with Ezekiel Elliott, he didn't have a replacement. I mean, he talked about Pollard that one preseason game, but that wasn't really it. And now, at this point, Andy Dalton isn't a bum off the street. Hello? Is this microphone working? He's not a bum off the street. I know they didn't win any playoff games, but Andy Dalton played some good football in Cincinnati.
Past history.
No, but he did. So it's not like he didn't do it. Or you're hoping that this guy catch lightning in a bottle. Or, he's hungry and he's going to prove that the Bengals were wrong about him. No, he's been to the playoffs. No, he's put up numbers. And if Dak and his people are really concerned, I don't know what the deal is. We've heard all kinds of stuff.
Right.
They're haggling over the years, and it's not money, it's just a year, and it'll make them the richer. All that stuff, but it ain't happen. And you don't have to go out and pay $3. Dak is going to play every down, Chris, unless he gets hurt. He's a young guy. You're not looking for anybody else to supplement or work with him. So when you go out and get Andy Dalton, you're saying, if Dak wants to play his little game and demands $40 million and think he has me over a barrel, and I'm gonna fret, we haven't won a Super Bowl in 25 years, and I'm 6 months away from my 95th birthday or whatever it is. He doesn't have to panic. You can win a Super Bowl with Andy Dalton and the talent that the Dallas Cowboys have. Yes, you can.
Just because your Eagles didn't need your boy once in a lifetime to do it doesn't mean it's happening elsewhere.
Yes, you can.
You hoping because this would make Carson Wentz look better. In fact, you might even be pulling for the Cowboys if Dalton starts the season.
They could have not made the playoffs with or without Dak, or with or without. Andy Dalton could have done the same thing, not make the playoffs with all that talent. He couldn't
even beat out Ryan Finley.
With all that talent. Well, they're going in a different direction. My only point is, Chris, be very careful if you're Dak Prescott. I still believe that they view him as a fourth-round pick. Everybody else from that draft class got paid. All the other Cowboys on the team got paid. There's no reason he shouldn't have a contract signed if it is about a year, Chris, a difference between a year. This makes no sense to me for the Cowboys to spend unnecessary money on supposedly a guy who's not going to play. I don't buy it. If I'm Dak, I'm talking to my representation and saying, really, what's the holdup here? What are we trying to do? And is it worth it? Is it really worth it? Is it worth for me going on a franchise tag, playing this year, maybe getting hurt, maybe not having a good year? Is it really worth it? Is it worth it? Because
will you stop it?
I mean,
you talking about Andy Dalton like he's the second coming of Dan Marino.
Have you seen that orange hair?
You can win a Super Bowl with him. Trust me. Meanwhile, he got benched last year. You know what his record is over the last 4 years, Rob Parker? This guy whose praises you are singing, Mr. Short Menu. How conveniently you always dismiss the short menu when it doesn't fit your narrative. Because here's the short menu on Andy Dalton the last 4 years. 20 wins, 35 losses, and a tie. I get that he's in Cincinnati. I get that he didn't have a lot of help. But still, don't tell me this guy's about to resurrect the star. He was 27th in the league last year in QBR.
He had no players.
QBR is supposed to weed out all of that stuff and get to what you did. And he was 27th in the league. He's always been a guy that throws a decent number of interceptions. That's not Dak. That's not Dak.
Right, Dak was home during the playoffs.
Stop it. He's made 2 in 4 years. That's good for a Cowboy quarterback nowadays. And so, look, and I like Andy Dalton. I mean, for a backup. But this notion that Jerry should feel comfortable putting Ezekiel and Amari and now CD and Gallup and the defense and the offensive line in the hands of a guy who was struggling in the Natty last year? Are you serious? When you got Dak Prescott, who has won more games, I'm going to say it again, Rob Parker. You need to hear it. Maybe it'll get through one of these days. Who's won more regular season games the last 4 years than everybody not named Tom Brady or Russell Wilson?
Who didn't make the playoffs two of those 4 years.
That wasn't all his fault.
He didn't make playoffs two of those 4 years.
How many times does that stop you from singing Carson's praises?
When he's piling up all these wins. They couldn't even go to Philadelphia and beat a broken down Eagles team.
Well, he lost his running back for 6 games one of those years.
Dak had no touchdowns in that game.
He'd be second only to Brady.
No touchdown. Very nice showing. He showed up big time in that.
See, when he won but didn't have the humongous numbers, people said, "Oh, he's just a game manager. He's just, that's all
Who
he
you
can
whispering
do."
for? Who's that? Is that the people? Yeah.
They.
I'm in the they group.
They. And when this year, when he put up numbers, they said, "Oh, he didn't win." Which is it? He can do both. And you'll see, I'm telling you, Rob, you talked about it last year. Jerry, wants to win a Super Bowl. You think he's really trusting Andy Dalton to deliver him a Super Bowl ring?
I'm just saying maybe he believes that he's not going to pay Dak Prescott $40 million.
Well,
I'm just saying, Chris.
If Dak, look, I'm gonna be honest. If Dak
if Dak's people don't back down from that, and you're Jerry Jones, what would you do, Chris? I'm asking you.
I wouldn't pay him 40. I would let him play on the, assuming he'll play on the franchise tag. And, if he plays well, we have a great year, you'll get your 40. But I don't know if that's what it is because, we can only go off the reports we've seen. And the reports are that they're ready to make him the highest paid quarterback in the league, in various ways. But supposedly they want to do it for 5 years and Dak wants to do it for 4. And I get it if I'm Dak because he can re-up after 4 more years and get more money. And I just don't think that, Rob, at the end of the day, if that's what it is, yeah, if Dak's got these astronomical Patrick Mahomes type numbers in his mind, that may be a little different, but I haven't seen that.
No, I haven't either.
If it's just a matter
but
of
I'm
years,
just saying,
then I think Jerry will buckle.
This will be interesting to see, but I do believe it is a threat. Like, this is not this whole notion. They could tell the Dallas writers, I get it. They don't want to upset Dak and make it, but when you bring in a guy like that in camp, and you're a young guy like Dak who's had the success that he had, it's a slap in your face. It just is. They didn't get him because or gave him like a veteran's minimum or whatever. They gave him a decent contract that if he plays, he could make $7 million. That's a decent contract.
Well,
that
ain't
no backup contract.
Yeah, I think they think they're gonna put a scare in the Dak.
Am I right, Chris? I
think they think that. But I think if push comes to shove, if Dak holds out, I think they'll buckle. Just like they did with Zeke. Remember all that stuff they were talking? Oh, the running back, they're not that important nowadays. Like you said, he talked about Tony Pollard, how great he looked. Had me fooled. I won't go for it anymore, though. Should Dak Prescott be worried about the Cowboys' addition of Andy Dalton? Your turn to weigh in as we continue.
Jason in Orlando, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Jason?
What's up, boys? How you doing?
Doing
great,
good.
man. How are you?
Good, man. Just driving home, man. Rob, I think you're onto something. Are you an Eagles fan? You said?
No, I'm not an Eagles fan, but I know I like once in a lifetime. I love once in a lifetime.
I say he plays once in a lifetime.
Whatever.
Well, listen, hey, don't be fooled by this. This is not like we got Andy Dalton just in case Dak's thinking about not signing. We'll start Andy and win with Andy. I've been a fan.
Win how much?
Listen, we got Zeke, Pollock back there. We got Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper. All he's got to do is game manage. That offense will win games for you. I've been watching football since '84. I'm 41. I watched Steve Pelor, Greg Hogaboom, Danny White.
How'd all that work out for you?
Not very well. 1981, we won one game against the Redskins. But my point is this. I wanted to throw a little credibility at you before I explain what I'm telling you. But I've watched Dak for 3 years. He is good, but he is not great.
I'll give you that.
You should give me that because I'm right.
He's en route. He's en route to being great.
And you know what? The Cowboys just threw up some cones, and they just said, "You go ahead and keep playing your little money game, and we'll see what happens." But we definitely appreciate that call. I'm sorry, Chris. Amir in Philadelphia, you're the Odd Couple.
Rob G.
Fox Sports Radio. Amir,
what's up, brother?
What's up, old goat?
What's happening? Amir been learning. I've been liking Amir lately.
Yeah,
Let's see if
he's got his
he
team together.
continues on the path.
Let's
I'm
hear.
always level-headed, you guys. But sorry to disappoint you, Chris. But I think Jerry has done everything right this offseason. He hit it out of the park, and it's just. I would be sick if I was Jerry too, because last year you gave the guy he had 2,000-yard receivers, a running back that had top 5 in rushing yards, and a defense that only gave up 30 or more points twice, and you went 8-8. I wouldn't give him the contract he wants. So you bring in the backup like Andy Dalton, and if he doesn't report to camp, you let Andy Dalton go in there. It's just as simple as that. This guy.
Well, that's what it is. I agree. If he said I'm gonna hold out, I'm not playing for that, then they'll be like, okay, that's fine. Chris, can you see that happening?
Look,
if he doesn't show up,
and some of it depends on what Dak's asking for. If he is indeed asking for $40 million, then I wouldn't pay him that as much as I like him. But if it's just the years, 5 years, 4 years, I think Jerry will buckle. Or if it's just a little, I don't even think, Rob, that it's a little bit of money. Because they paid Dalton $3 million, maybe $7 million, right?
Right.
So I don't think it's really money. I think it's more years.
Well, all right. Jeremy in Texas, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Jeremy?
What's up, guys? Hey, here's the deal, man. 2 things. One is Dalton is a great backup. The reason they did it is if, like everybody's saying, if he holds out, he holds out. Who are they going to go with? Ben DiNucci? At the time, it was Cooper Rush. Really? No.
Right.
So you got to get up. You got to pick up Andy Dalton. That's one. 2 is Andy Dalton. You got to remember he had a horrible O-line and a horrible defense in Cincinnati. If you're playing from behind all the time, what happens? Your run game goes away. Your pass game picks up. Well, defenses figure that out. So yeah, he's going to throw picks because he has to throw the ball because they're always behind because the defense can't stop nobody. So you know what? I agree with Rob on this one. Go for it, Rob. Andy Dalton's a great pickup. There's a lot of things with that O-line that we have and the defense now that we have in Dallas. Andy Dalton, even if he goes in, is going to have a chance to actually throw the ball and run the ball at the same time.
And Jeremy, here's the other part. I agree with that. Everybody had him earmarked to go to the Patriots, right? Oh, Bill Belichick will get something out of him. Oh, he could do something. That would put them right back in the mix if they had Andy Dalton. Dallas jumped in and scooped him up and said, we're not chancing this. We have enough talent. We had a chance to go to the Super Bowl last year, Chris. It didn't happen. We didn't make the playoffs. The talent is there.
Wait,
you're
talking like they think it's almost an upgrade.
Could be.
Stop it.
Could be.
Stop. I agree with Rob. You just heard it. He thinks it's an upgrade. He's viewing this through the eyes of the Philadelphia Eagles. That's why the problem is there. He doesn't want Winston because Nick Foles is a backup, could win a Super Bowl. He wants Dak's backup to win a Super Bowl, so he'll have that on Dak.
All right. Max in Georgia. You think of everything.
Oh, gosh.
Max in Georgia, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Max?
Like 2 callers to get the Max.
Hey, I had to get in on this, fellas. Listen,
that's right.
This is big. I got to give props to Jerry and the Cowboys. This is a big move. I say that because whether Dak holds out or whether he decides to come back and has poor performance, Andy Dalton's going to be right there. The Red Rifle is relatively accurate. He is getting older. But I look at 2018, he was 21-11. I look at Dak's 2018, he was 22-8. Not much different. Is Dak a better quarterback? Yes, he is. But if Dak decides to go the Dak route and he wants to think this is all about Dak, hey, Dak, your best performances last year resulted in losses in terms of stats. So it's the team. The team is much better with a guy like a Dalton or a guy who's not going to be about him. The team cog is just moving down, and that's their best result to get to the Super Bowl.
All right. No surprise there, Max from Georgia. All right.
Why you say that?
I think you got him on the payroll, man.
No, Max ain't on no payroll.
You need to stop paying Max and pay your phone bill so we don't have these glitches.
So my phone will be all right. No, I got to get it together.
All right, Michael Jordan says he had nothing. Come on, Rob. Look at Rob G. Rob G's a hater, man.
Rob G, what? Let me hear this tease. What is this
says
tease?
Michael Jordan says he had nothing to do with Isaiah Thomas being left off the Dream Team. Did he say that, Rob? He didn't say it. No.
Nothing.
He said, if you want to put it on me, put it on me. He said it wouldn't have been as fun with Isaiah. I don't think he said it had nothing to do with it.
He said
That's a
his
little
name
stretch.
never came out of my mouth, is what he said.
But that's a stretch.
That's what he said.
What'd he say to Rod Thorne's comment? The guy I know that you're talking about, he's not on the roster. You know, come on. That's an admission of something.
And Rod Thorne, remember what was that last week? He was saying Jordan had nothing to do. Like that was like, why are you doing that? Why would you put yourself out there like that if you're Rod
Right.
Thorne?
All right, Chris, just
Come
read the
on.
tease. Let's go.
You trying to set me up. All right.